My way of expressing myself has always been physical. My mom told me it's like since I was little, it's like if I would be angry or happy or whatever, you would see it in my body language. For me, having a new way of challenging my body, a new way of pushing the limits of what my body can do, that was the thing that really got me hooked in flying. My name is Inga Dita, and I'm a dancer and a world champion indoor skydiver. I started dancing when I was 3 years old, and as long as I remember, I've been dancing. When indoor skydiving came along, I found something for the first time that I was more passionate about than I ever was about dancing. Suddenly I realized like I've just found a new way of dancing. It's just on a different kind of dance floor. The discipline that I compete in is called freestyle, but when I'm speaking about my flying overall, I prefer to use the term air dancing, because it's not just about competing and that set discipline, it's about creating something new and exploring the limits of what we can do in flying. And I would like to take flying from being a sport towards being a form of performing arts. Flying for sure is way harder than it looks like. The wind speeds can go up to 180 miles an hour. You have to be strong, you have to be flexible. A lot of the body positions look easy, but they actually require a lot to perform them nicely. So a split, for example. It might look like I'm just resting in that flexible body position, but I'm actually all the time pushing against the airflow to have control. I don't always like the use of the word talented, because it makes it sound like only if you have that talent before you even start flying, you're gonna get good. I've always been like a hard worker myself. So if I really wanna get good at something, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. It just depends on how much you want it.
Kind of like a skater has a skateboard or a BMXer has a bike. I just saw the wheelchair as something fun, so why not take it into the park? I'm Aaron Wheels Fotheringham, and I ride WCMX. WCMX stands for Wheelchair Motocross. It's, you know, taking your chair into the skate park and hitting ramps, kind of the same thing as BMX, but with a wheelchair. I first started going to the skate parks when I was 8 years old, and I've been doing it for 16 years now. The wheelchair is definitely just an extension of my body, because skaters aren't always on their skateboard and bikers aren't always on their bike, but I'm always on my chair. So that gives me like an unfair advantage to just practice everywhere I go. I feel like I'm lucky that I always have my wheelchair with me, because I can just jump whenever I want. I was born with spina bifida. I've had 21 surgeries throughout my life, and I spent a lot of time in the hospitals. And yeah, it would be easy to just be bummed out on that, but for me, I just found the positive. The wheelchair has just always been fun, and it's wheels stuck to your butt. How's that not a great time? In 2008, I got the Guinness World Record for the first backflip on a wheelchair. That was at a local competition here in Vegas called AmJam. That was a pretty cool day. One of my favorite tricks is just simple hand plant, because I always loved watching skaters do it when I was growing up, and you know, watching the pros do it, it just was something I wanted to learn. I'm very blessed to be able to do what I love and what I'm passionate about for a living. A lot of the time the wheelchair comes with this stereotype of you can't do this or whatever because it's a medical device. I just always seen the wheelchair as a great opportunity.
When you're on a trail that long, you don't really think about how long is it going to take me to get to somewhere or how fast am I going. You're thinking about don't get yourself hurt. My name is Carl Meltzer and I am an ultramarathoner.
We did 36 miles today.
Yeah, it was a pretty weak day, but no one's ever been this far in 10 days. I just recently broke the Appalachian Trail record from Maine to Georgia. It's 2,189 miles, and I completed that in 45 days, 22 hours and 38 minutes, beating the previous record by just a little under 10 hours. Total mileage average per day for that 46 days will be 47.6. The AT is not a walk in the park. It's a hard trail. And every time I grip my foot and it goes forward, it totally stresses my leg. I scream in pain. You really have to have a team. It's not just the one guy running.
Just a couple peanut butter and jelly?
It's really the crew who, if they're not perfect for you, then it really won't be successful. I think the Appalachian Trail, not only is it very popular and iconic, but it's also very difficult. Now it's all downhill and easy. I am concentrating on my foot placement all the time, so 2 hours goes by like nothing, just because I'm zoned out. I slammed my head into the ground a number of times, and it beats you down. You have to expect that. But you can beat it too, as long as you just keep persevering and fighting through the issues that you're going to have. The last day I ran 85 miles. My body was so amped and ready to be done that it didn't matter really how far it was. I felt the same at mile 80 as I did at mile 10. You're just numb at that point, really.
This is where all the fun is.
It's important for people to know that the AT is a special place and it should be protected. It's a trail for one who wants to gain fellowship with nature. No matter whether you're running it, whether you're walking it, whether you're taking 10 years to do it, when you walk that trail, you have a vibe and you feel it. Every year someone else's gets a little bit faster. Someone will break my record for sure. It might come this year, I don't know. I'm still going to be happy because I gave it everything I had. You know, I think that's what's important.
The first ride is the straight wall ride. The second act is our go-kart, so it's 4 wheels this time. Third act, it's riding one of these lovely ladies, and we do hands off, standing up, hands off, sitting on the side, standing on the side, a whole array of acts. It's an experience you can't compare anything in the world to. I'm Kerry Cameron, and I'm a Wall of Death rider, and I ride for Luke Fox's original Wall of Death.
See the Hell Riders race this afternoon. We'll take you way back in time, back to the late 1920s.
I started riding the Wall of Death by pure accident. I used to work with horses, and unfortunately where I was working, the place shut down, so naturally we went to the job centre, and I just typed in horse rider into the search engine, and Wall of Death rider came up. And I went down to the yard, and they had the wall built up. I knew there and then that was it. You do get very dizzy when you first learn to ride because you've got to build your stamina up to the dizziness. You have to be going at least 30 miles an hour to stay on, otherwise gravity will just whip you straight off. It's a mixture of 3 things, so balance, speed, and obviously a bit of stamina. Just lifting your arm up to wave goodbye to the audience is quite a feat. It is a good feeling being a female rider in this masculine environment. It gives me a great buzz because a lot of people, when they see you walk into the wall, they just think you're a bit of flash, you know. But as soon as they see you get on the bike, you can hear like murmurs saying, "Oh, there's a girl on a motorbike." See all their faces light up. And then after the show, all the girls, they were like, "Wow, you've got bigger balls than most of the men." But it's great to know that they're looking at you thinking, well, if you can do it, then so can I.
A castell is a structure formed of human people. It's a human tower. Castells are a Catalan tradition of over 200 years. Today there are over 80 different colliers or teams spread throughout Catalonia. Every 2 years we have a competition. The 12 best teams will perform at the concours in Tarragona. I'm proud to be a member of the Castellers de Vilafranca. The Castellers de Vilafranca have won the concours for 7 consecutive times. We hope to make it 8 consecutive victories. These are very big structures, very big castles, and they require 300 or 400 people at a time to make these kind of constructions, and they can reach heights of 15 meters. The most important thing when we try to make the castles is obviously the safety of the people involved. We have very small children of the age of 4 or 5 who will climb to the very top of the castle. Everybody is working to make sure that this is the safest possible activity for them. This is very important because occasionally castles will collapse. And it looks spectacular, but it can be very dangerous. It's quite common for people to break a leg, an arm, shoulder injuries. As the castle progresses, the pressure builds. Everybody is trying to find a little bit of oxygen in the bottom of the castle. There have been times when people have fainted or collapsed, but you still have to keep going because you have the collective responsibility that you don't want to let the team down. You hear the final music that you know the castle is completed. You can relax a little bit, but you still have to concentrate because this is the most dangerous part of the castle, because if you relax too much, the structure can collapse very, very quickly. Why am I a Castellers de Vilafranca? This is a very complex question, and I don't really have an answer. You can't explain it. It's impossible to explain. You have to feel it. If you feel it, you understand it.